talking about getting smoother at the game of bowling, you got to get things more like your natural, normal motions and movements. We're going to give Tim another drill, and it's probably the most important drill that I do it every time I practice. It's low ball. I just make the 7-pin and the 10-pin out of a full rack. You can't hit the 6-pin. You can't throw it in the gutter. And I just try to see how many ones in a row I can get. What this does, as I was explaining to Tim, is it teaches me how much room I have at a 10-pin only, and how much more room I have if I can get just a board or two hook from right to left. And then conversely, the 7-pin, how much room I have throwing it straight, how much room I have if I have a board or two hook, but more importantly, how much room I have when I have a little bit of a cut or a fade on that ball, one that hooks left to right, gives me an extra board room at it. Now then, when I'm in competition and I'm looking at a 6-7-10 split or a 4-7-10 split, they don't look so impossible, because all I've done for a half hour in each of my practice sessions is shoot at a 10-pin and a 7-pin only. And it's only a fraction difference in making that spare. Now it makes the spare look like I can actually spare it in competition. And that confidence so many times is the difference in making it and not making it. Now then, 7.5 racks is my record. You can shoot at my record every day. If you beat my record, come on to Facebook and tell me. I got your record, Norm. And then tell me by what margin. If you got 8 racks or if you got 35 racks.
It'll be a while.
Who knows? It'll be a while. But I want you to do that every time you practice. Try to, let's say, start out and say, I'm going to get at least 2 ones in a row. And then the next day, I want to get at least 3 ones in a row.
Question.
Yes.
You're about the only guy I see that does not switch to a plastic ball.
Correct.
That's intentional, obviously.
Right.
And that's because of control and the release. Correct.
Oh, absolutely, of course. Yeah. Now, Tim is asking me, why is it that I don't switch balls to a spare ball when I'm shooting spares? And certainly it's because I can get my first ball, no matter what it is, dull, shiny, a big core, a small core. Normally I can get whatever ball to back up 2 or 3 boards, 4 or 5 boards, 6 or 8 boards, more, or I can get them to hook 1 board, 3 boards, 5 or more. So if I can do all of that with a regular ball, why switch to a spare ball? Why carry it around, first of all, like a ball and chain? I'm married to a spare ball, I don't want that. Secondly, a spare ball is a different grip than I'm throwing on my first shot. And I hate it when I throw different grips in the same frame. It works on me. And back in the day when we didn't have, thumb slugs, you had a plastic ball in your hand and you had a resin ball in your hand, or a blue hammer, or just a regular urethane ball. The difference in the feel and the texture was such that it just got it was miserable trying to control it. I have tried the spare ball theory, but I did so without backing the ball up at it. So I chopped just as much with a spare ball as I did with a regular ball. I didn't get any better using a spare ball. I really didn't even make any more 10-pins. It wasn't until I learned to throw that little bit of a backup ball, or even a bigger one, that I got great at shooting spares. And I'll tell you, right now, I'm pretty good at that spare game. And mostly because I can get a bowling ball, no matter what dynamic, to hook a couple boards to the right, a couple boards to the left, or on a dime straight. And again, I can do so at will and without fear. Why? Because I've done this drill so many hours over time that I know when I'm standing there and I pull that ball up, at least I've done it before. At least I've done this before. I know how to get this done. And it's the confidence you will get from that is great. Now, Tim uses a spare ball right now, but when we got here, I asked him to throw a cut or a little bit of fade, and he took him, almost 5 or 6 or 8 shots just to get it to go straight. And then until we got to a release drill, he wasn't able to get it to move. Let's see you take your regular ball now on camera and get one to fade a little bit and try to get the 10-pin only. If you do, I'll buy you a nicey cold soda cola beverage.
All right.
I'll buy him a beer, but we'll just say it's a soda cola beverage. Now, just because you're going to throw a straight ball at the 7 pin and the 10 pin doesn't mean you want to get away from the cross alley. The cross lane is what's going to give your ball an ability to migrate in the middle of the lane instead of near the gutters. It's always better. Now, what Tim did that time, first of all, his ball didn't get a backup ball, a couple of boards. It actually hooked a couple of boards, slightly, but it's close, but it's not what we asked for. And the reason is he was so focused on getting that ball out that his tendency came to pass. Now, tendencies are that, they're tendencies. I have them. I have those nemesis tendencies that I cannot stand. Tim's got the same ones. When he reviews that on camera later, he's going to see the gap between his ball and the right knee. And he's going to say, wow, I had no idea my ball was that much off. Now then, do the same thing, Tim, and concentrate now on, yes, you want your hand position to be opened a little bit, facing the 10-pin area, but more importantly, you're wanting to place the ball left as to return right. So definitely not right as to want it to return left. All right, now that was pretty good because he exaggerated the left placement, which now got that figure 8, and it was so much, in fact, that he missed right, missed the 10 pin altogether. But one of Tim's tendencies is to migrate that push away to the right, and you negated that to the point even to fault the other direction, which is great. That means you have control. As long as you got focus on it, you have control over it. Some people can focus on it all they want. They just don't have any control yet of that. You're building that control as we speak. And by the time I see you next year, you're going to be cutting that ball 3, 4, and 5 boards on call, at will and without fear. And I love it.
That I will.
Buddy, you're done.
Thank you, sir.